Hey boys and girls, here is topic 8, lesson 8, our last one of our unit. We are going to be using number sense today to evaluate some expressions with our greater than, less than, or equal to symbols. You will need your workbook, a pencil, scratch paper, multiplication chart. As always, all of those are the things that I want you to have for math out, ready to go every single day. Here is our learning goal. You can read it with me. I can use number sense to evaluate the size of a product. Okay, here's our solve and share. And it says, without multiplying, circle the problem in each set with the greatest product and underline the problem with the least product. Solve this problem any way you choose. So what we need to keep in mind here is when we multiply a number greater than 1 by a number greater than 1, we get a greater answer. When we multiply a number by a number less than 1, we get a smaller answer. And then when we multiply a number less than 1 by a number less than 1, our answers are getting even smaller. So if I'm going to have you look at set 1, 2, and 3, and I want you to, in your book, circle the problem that has the biggest answer. So look for those whole numbers or improper fractions. And then I want you to also underline the problem with the least product, and then we'll talk about it together. Okay, let's go ahead and double check your work. So if I'm looking at step 1, I have a number less than 1 times 2. So I know this is going to get smaller than 2 because I'm finding half of 2. So if I find half of 2, that's going to get smaller. I have 2 times 3 over 3. Well, I know that's worth 1 whole. So I know this is going to stay 2. And then this one here, I'm multiplying a number greater than 1 by a number greater than 1. So this is going to be my biggest answer because it's an improper fraction. That's really 1 and 1/4. 1 and 1/4 and 5/4 are just the same thing renamed in a different form. So I know this is going to be my biggest product because, and then this is going to be equal to 2. This will be less than 2 because I'm finding half of it. I'm multiplying it by a number less than 1. So let's take a look here. Problem set A, we've got a number greater than 1 times a number greater than 1. And these are mixed numbers, yes, but that 3 and that 2 are telling me, okay, it's going to be, this would round to about 4 times 2. It's probably going to be around 8. Here I have a mixed number times a number less than 1, so I know it's going to get smaller than that 2.5. And this one is 2.5 times 4 over 4. Well, that's equal to 1 whole. So my greatest one is going to be A. My smallest one is going to be B because that's when I'm multiplying by that number less than 1. So here, this is about 4 times about 2. That'll be about 8. This would be like 2.5, finding half of about 2. So we could take our 3/4 and put it at half, times it by 2. So that's going to be about 1. This is 2.5 times essentially 1. So that's going to be 2.5. So this is going to be bigger than my least, but smaller than the greatest. So just kind of to help you. You can use estimating to help you kind of picture this in your head, rounding. And really that rule where if you multiply a number by a number less than 1, we're going to get smaller. If you multiply it by a numerator and denominator the same, like they did here, it's going to stay the same because you're multiplying it by 1. This is 3/4 times 6 over 6. So again, that's like 1. Probably not going to be my smallest. Got 1 and 5/6 multiplied, finding 3/4 of that. This is going to be my least. I already know because it's going to be less than 1 and 5/6. And then this is, oh wait, no, it's not. It tricked me. I was like all on the same path. So then this one I have to look at, and I'm finding 5/6 times 3/4. So my largest answer, 3/4 is going to get smaller here because this is going to be a part. So this one's going to be my least. This one I'm finding 1 and 5/6, 3/4 of that, but I bet that was still bigger than 3/4. So B is going to be my biggest here. And we could always do that. Take our 1 and 5/6. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5 more is 11 over 6 times 3/4. We can double check it. I can cross reduce if you're doing that. I'm just doing this really quick. 2. So 11 over 8, which is 1 and 3/8. Oh wait, yeah. Yep. So 1 3/8 is still going to be bigger, yeah, than our 3/4, which is what I thought up there. Okay, but that one was kind of tricky, and then this one was harder because it wasn't broken down the same, like whole number times a whole number. I had to take my whole number and find 3/4 of that, but I knew it was going to be bigger probably because 3/4 of our 1 5/6 is still bigger than that 3/4. Okay, I know a little bit confusing. We're going to try to keep working on a couple of these guys, and it's just trying to build our number sense with these fractions. So here's our essential question. How can you use number sense to evaluate the size of a product? Let's take a look at our visual learning problem today. It says Sue knitted scarves that are 4 feet long for herself and her friends Joe and Alan. After a month, they compared the length of their scarves. Some scarves had stretched and some had shrunk. The results are shown in the chart. How had the lengths of Joe's and Alan's scarves changed? So we need to think of multiplication as scaling or resizing to help us understand. Sue's is 4 feet. This is 1.5 times 4. So a number greater than 1 times a number greater than 1. And this one is 3/4 times 4. So a number less than 1 times a whole number. So they're saying Alan's scarf shrank. When we take that 3/4, that's a number less than 1 times 4. This is going to be less than the 4 that they're starting with right there. And remember, this is I like to write it like with that little guy, and then you know that this is your greater than symbol. I don't have a little trick for that one, but this can be an LESS for less than. Multiplying a fraction less than 1 results in the product less than the number given. So if we have Stu's scarf here, his scarf is only going to be 3 feet, I think they were in feet. Joe's scarf is stretched because they're multiplying it by a number greater than 1. So multiplying a number by a fraction greater than 1 results in a product greater than the starting number. So Sue's scarf is 4. You'll notice they put the greater than symbol in there saying the answer to this is bigger than that number. And so you see Sue's scarf is 4 feet, Joe's scarf is 6 feet because it's 1.5 times the amount that Sue's scarf was, or the original scarf was. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple of these guys. Okay, why does multiplying a number by 3.5 increase its value? Because we are taking it 3.5 times. So we can say because, B/G, it's abbreviation for because, 3.5 is greater than 1, and multiplying it about 3 times. Which of the following are less than 8? So I want you to look at me. I've got 8, 8, and 8. Now multiplying it by 9/10, 7/6, 3/5. I want you to pause right here, circle in your workbook which ones are less than 8, are multiplying it by a fraction less than 1. Okay, well, if I look at this, 8 times 9/10, that is less than 1. That's not 10 out of 10 pieces. So this one is less than 8. 8 times 7/6. Well, 7/6 is improper. So really 7/6 is 1 and 1/6. So 8 times 1 would be 8, but you're also multiplying 8 times 1/6, so you're going to have it even bigger. So not that one. 3/5 times 8, well, 3 out of 5 pieces, that's less than 1 whole. So if you multiply it by 8, that's going to get smaller than 8. Okay, let's try one of them over here, and then I'm going to give you time to do the other 2 and check them. So 3.5 times 2 2/3. So then you'll notice they take this number and they put it over here. They want you to put in a less than, a greater than, or an equal to. So if I'm taking 2 2/3 and multiplying it by a number greater than 1, this answer is going to be bigger than that. So my greater than symbol goes in there because this will be larger. Okay, so number 4 you're looking at 4/5 times 2 2/3. And so they're comparing 2 2/3 to times 4/5 to just the 2 2/3. So you're multiplying this by a fraction less than 1. So will your answer be smaller than 2 2/3? Go ahead and try and fill it in. Okay, Yes, it will. So this is going to be greater than. So the way you would read this right to left, 4/5 times 2/3 is less than 2 2/3. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Okay, go ahead and try number 5. They flipped it around. Careful. 4/4, what does that mean? Give it a try, and we'll talk about the rest in group.